No, I got it.
All right.
Last clap. Bastard.
All right, we're talking about celebrity worship and other ways to escape reality. And I think that you can find out a lot about someone. Did you have childhood heroes? Were there people that you go, man, I've got to be like them? Who for you, Rick?
We were just talking about Dick Van Dyke. Peter Sellers.
Peter Sellers.
Yeah. I didn't know what kind of dad he was then. I just thought he was amazing, you know?
Yeah.
He was genius, could do anything, shapeshift.
Right.
Take on any dialect, didn't make his own dialect sacred, could load anyone else's in, shift his face around, you know? I always admired that duck and dodge genius of his, you know?
Right.
Who are yours?
Well, you know, first of all, I was raised where I was not allowed to go to movies. I mean, I was raised in a very fundamentalist Christian background, and so Jesus, no, no,
action Jesus?
But you know what? I had heroes. A lot of them were like I was big on FDR. I was big on Clarence Darrow.
Good.
His sitcom.
Good hero.
That was good.
I should have given it a chance to evolve.
I read everything I could about Robert E. Lee. I thought Robert E. Lee was really cool. And Stonewall Jackson. For some reason, all the authors I read, the Confederate generals were the noble gentlemen, and the Yankee generals were like the drinking, whoring, creepy guys.
When you were a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Turns out it's yeah.
So was Robert E. Lee a bad guy?
No.
Yeah. But so I had those kind of heroes, and then like I talked about in my set, comics were my heroes. I mean, the Flip Wilson,
I would watch any variety show that was on, hoping George Carlin would show up.
Yes, sir.
I had, I was young. I had no awareness that different shows had sort of a different pool of casting. So I wound up watching like the Mac Davis show, thinking George Carlin might show up because he's in a variety show.
Mac Davis,
or Merv.
But I could watch a George Carlin set once and have it memorized.
Nice.
Wow.
And I would have my plan to do it at lunch tomorrow at school, because then everyone will laugh and think I'm funny and cool. And I would try it on my dad in the morning over breakfast.
Yeah.
First time I did it, my dad said, "You didn't write that."
Oh,
he knew right away.
Hey, tough crowd, man. Tough crowd.
The rules about intellectual property very clear in my childhood.
And were you doing the hippy dippy weatherman?
I would do the hippy dippy weatherman. I would, whatever he had done last night, I was doing. Yeah. I was doing jokes I didn't understand.
I would imagine.
I had no idea, the dog exploded, 9 people were overcome by fur. I had no idea why that was funny.
Yeah, I had to have my dad explain, these guys, show us your lark. Yeah, drive downtown. These guys will show you their larks.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Well, it's a euphemism. Show you. Whenever a guy goes through anything like that, it's your dick.
Anyone else that stood out?
Yeah, I loved the Smothers Brothers.
Right.
I loved them. Laugh-In was just stunning to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a laugh a second. It was hilarious.
I was young enough. Don't let the gray hair fool you. I was young enough that I remember my parents watching Laugh-In when I was supposed to be asleep. And we lived in an old house in Hartford, Connecticut, with the giant keyholes on all the doors, the big stupid skeleton key thing that was going on.
You could look through.
I would sneak to my parents' room and watch Laugh-In through the keyhole. Wow. I could see the tiny little screen and hear the joke.
That's a Laugh-In fan, man.
And eventually they heard me laughing outside and just gave up. And every week they would let me in to come watch the show.
That's nice.
Wow.
And
Otherwise you have to saw a door through and just sort of come in and watch like that and go out again.
Just for the jokes. And then I've got it.
What was your favorite part? Was it the windows?
I loved the joke wall.
Yeah.
I loved when they would sort of take a topic and do a series of short takes on it. The idea that someone had just written all these jokes in a row and they were all about the same thing. That was the coolest thing in the world to me.
And they can get a whole room of people to stop while someone else tells a joke.
Yeah.
All these self-involved people have to wait for your joke. That was...
Or the Ruth Buzzy slamming
Artie Johnson.
Yeah. The tipping over on a tricycle. Yeah. All that shit. I loved all of that stuff. And,
man.
the need, it wasn't just the idea of innuendo that, talking about your dick. The need to have people explain a joke to me is how I learned like 80% of what I learned in childhood. I think part of the difficulty with modern entertainment is that there's a fear of challenging an audience. No one's going to get only a tenth of the audience is going to get that. Don't write that in. Write in the fucking joke.
Educate the audience. Let them catch up with you.
90% of the goddamn country go, why is that funny? Oh, I get it. Look at that. They just thought for 2.5 seconds. That's more than they did last year.
But if you write it, they will come.
Yeah.
I think Jon Stewart has shown that smart comedy can get an audience.
Well, what do you know?
Get 1.5.
We're not as stupid as they keep treating us.
I'll tell you what the danger is with celebrity worship and the culture of pure entertainment. Every time someone says to me, it's not art, it's entertainment, they're saying it as an excuse to say something absolutely abhorrent. Every fucking time. Whenever a comic, if I go up to a comic and I say, I don't care if you're black, don't do racist jokes. I don't care if you're Jewish, don't be self-loathing anti-Semitic on stage. The answer is always, it's just a joke. No, it's not. You're saying something to a room full of fucking people. Think about what you're saying. All entertainment is ultimately art, and all art is political. And we've got this culture that says it's just entertainment, it doesn't really matter, it's just keeping our minds busy, we're not really thinking about anything, and you're always learning something from the jokes. You're always finding something out about your world, and it's not necessarily true. But if you learn it from a joke, you think it is.
How about you, Michael? Did you have any celebrities you worshipped or heroes, childhood heroes that,
First of all, I want to say that I think your one-man show was terrific.
It moved him.
It moved me.
They moved twice.
It just touched me.
I'm sorry, I take this shit seriously, Michael.
I've never had sleep like that.
I agree with the principle.
I haven't slept like that in a year.
No, that's not a bad review. Here's a review. When I woke up, he was still going. That's a rough review, man.
Anyway, we thank you, Dylan.
That's all I asked for. A little bit of celebrity worship directed at my fucking life. That's all I want.
Please.
It's a schmear. What is it? Oh yeah, childhood heroes. Like I remember as a kid I don't know if you guys remember this guy, Gene Shepard. He was
on the radio.
On the WOR in New York.
Gene Shepard, you're reaching that fridge for that one last frosty beer.
Exactly.
He would take you to Americana.
Would read stories every, I think, Sunday night or whatever, and it was on late enough that I would have to sneak my little radio in to listen.
Flick lives.
What's that?
Flick lives.
Flick lives. The Christmas Story. Everyone knows the Christmas Story because they made a movie out of it.
Oh.
And actually, Gene Shepard is the person who narrates that movie. Anyway, he was big. He cut comedy albums and whatever. So anyway, he was the kind of guy, wow, I was just wildly entertained by him. So when I cut to about 6, maybe, it might be 7 years ago now, Gene Shepard dies. And me and another guy, who share this bond as kids, listening to Gene Shepard. So we're going to write a Gene Shepard movie, but we're going to try, and we're going to just write, because we love him, it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah,
so we start going into Gene Shepard and calling various people in his family. We suddenly realize that Gene's personal life is
the mess.
Is not storybook at all.
That's a good movie.
Yes, but we don't want to do it.
Storybook.
We don't want to do it because our whole
man.
thing is like, you know what? So his son says he did this and did that and the other thing. We approached it out of love, and we hate those movies that turn good, positive.
Maybe it has to be a little boy listening to Gene Simmons.
Gene Shepard.
Gene Shepard, or Gene Simmons, either one. Yeah,
they're
Gene Shepard and being affected by Gene,
right?
But you don't show Gene's personal life,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So we decided anyway we weren't going to do it because
a fictional guy based on him.
Exactly.
He doesn't do any of that weird stuff.
He doesn't do any of that weird stuff. And
now you're talking.
Yeah.
Anyway, the bottom line is, as we dug and people started talking to us like members of his family, we couldn't do it. We're like, you
Right.
know what? Fuck it. We don't want to be involved in that. But that just shows you how that you can have you can worship celebrity,
Right.
and you can think they're the coolest person, but the immediate family around him, like his son, according to his son, he was horrible. He abandoned him.
Every son is going to have that story. I
No.
mean,
Every celebrity
there's-
son?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
those stories are because you can never give enough to your kids. It was never
That's true.
enough. You never had enough time. You know.
I had one of my heroes break
Even
my
Michael
heart.
Jackson's kids have complaints, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I had one of my heroes break my heart, and before I tell
Okay.
this, I've never found you more attractive than tonight.
Thank you. Gorgeous.
I loved Steve Allen when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
He could do stuff on television that I'd never seen anyone do. I saw a rerun of him doing the thing the week that they'd come out with the drunk driving statistics originally in the 50s, and did the drunk driving. He did a show where he downed a grapefruit and vodka every 10 minutes throughout the show, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen on television. And then when I was out here, I had a chance to work at his office, just work for him as a guy working in an office. And it was just heartbreaking to see this guy whom I had loved and admired on the phone every day repeating the same jokes over and over again to everybody he talked to, writing angry letters to newspapers claiming that he had invented the Tonight Show and they'd miscredited it to Jack Parr, just rage-filled and angry and being... It was that same sort of heartbreaking, he was my hero and now he's so little.
Right.
Note to self.
Be your own hero.
Don't. Doctor, it hurts when you do that. Don't do that.
Although I did once hear him say the best thing I've ever heard anyone say in a phone call to a lawyer. I heard him say, "I'm hip, baby, I'm hip. I read the memo, but dig, if we can swing on this right away, we stand to make a lot of money."
Wow.
No self-consciousness.
Yeah.
Absolutely meant everywhere.
The coolest thing I ever heard anybody say on the telephone to a lawyer was him. Bill Bronner, about 10 years ago, you were crashing at my place, and I was in my bedroom depressed and probably drunk, and I could hear him on the phone to the Marriott, who he was suing at the time, and he said, "Look, I'm your worst enemy. I'm unemployed, I have a law degree, and a computer."
You are the worst. That's alien loose on the Nostromo.
I'm laying there, and I just couldn't fucking stop laughing.
Oh, that's
Why doesn't he
great.
represent me?
Why can't he? He got me out of bed. He got me out of bed. I want him to be my agent.
It's a genie with a law degree.
Oh, it was so pure too. Because
I was taking out a lot of work. Their lawyers loved me. The Marriott hated me.
Oh, wow.
The law firm representing the Marriott, they were eager to file replies to all of my motions and
yeah.
everything.
So why do you have their soap in all your bathrooms, sir? Dun, dun, dun.
Billable hours, Brunner, we
Explain
call
this
it.
towel.
Well, I think we have to wrap the show up. But celebrity worship, how do you kill time? What is the thing you do? Crossword puzzles?
I try and if I can think to do it, I try and maybe if I'm in the car, I try and turn the radio off and have no stimulation, but it doesn't work, and then 5 minutes later you're visualizing what a monkey looks like trying to fuck a football. I better listen to Lycus.
Can I tell you what it looks like? It looks like me on a Harley Sportster, the small one. My knees taste salty. Yeah.
How about you, Rick? How do you kill time?
I've decided that it's to retreat to that place like when I was a kid. You got to make your own fun, buddy. So always, just now is a great time with the digital revolution. Write your own screenplays and stuff like that. Get creative again. It's time to make. We're being faced with uncreativity, a giant rolling black smoky cloud of void and nothing and uncreativity, and you can't fight it with violence or anger because it just goes eats that. You gotta fight it with dull light and creativity again. That goes. It starts rolling back the other way. It works. Renaissance always beats Dark Age every time.
Awesome. Yeah. How about you?
I play piano, I play guitar, I have anonymous fetish cyber sex with strangers.
But not strangers anymore.
Oh no!
Yeah, you will meet a friendly man in a leather
And
jacket.
he will claim to be exactly who I want.
A 16-year-old Swedish girl.
Did I see you guys in RV?
No, I read the book.
Were you the one?
They left
guys
so much of the
that
book
kept-
out. I didn't see RV yet. Did you see RV? No. Oh, man.
But they're
16
laughing
million
at-
it did. That means at least what? 2
Hey,
million people went to see it. That's not a big crowd, really. Good luck.
That's right.
Good luck with that RV stuff.
Good luck.
All right, we got to wrap it up. Thanks. That was a lot of fun, guys. And,
Thank you. Good show.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
all right. Thanks.
Good job.
Stop it out.
Thanks for playing.
Show that horse. Show that horse.
Yeah, that was No, that was a lot of fun.
And
I suck.
it's so.
I always feel good until about halfway home, and then I'm aware of all my flaws.
What?
Every show.
Oh,
Really?
Every show.
No, it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. Yeah. I mean, it's just conversation.